All right, so here we go. I'm back. I went and grabbed some heat shrink. Let's go ahead and slide that on. Now, because I'm gonna run that wire right over there, I just want a little bit of extra protection right there. So that's about where I want it. I'm gonna take the heat gun and get her heated up. Now, while it's warm, I want to kind of get it to lay like that. Hopefully, when it cools, it'll be happy where it's at. So, we got that like such. And we're going to go ahead and take get the panel. We're going to get that back installed back on because I'm happy how that is. We're also, yeah, that works nice. It's cooling, and it's cooling with that angle there, so that's perfect, exactly what I want to do. And I'll take a picture of that so you guys can see that real good, you know. And now that it cools, it'll cool with that. All right, that's exactly what I wanted. A little extra protection here, a little extra protection there. All right, so I am going to put a little slit right here in the carpet so that I can push those wires right through and bring them down right in here. Yeah, right here. Let's right there. Looks like. So, light coming through. And all right, there we go. Yeah. Stick that through in. Over here. Yeah, like that. There we go. And then now we got the two wires that are going to come down and go in right there. So I'm happy with that. And the seat is going to sit, if you guys can see, on these bumps here, and that's going to be above there. And if it does sit a little on top of that, it ain't going to be no issue. But there's all of that. Now let's get this out and get all of that put back together. Let's go ahead and get the seat belt plugged in where we need it to be. Get this down and get that bolted on. And I'll do a picture so you guys can see all of that. There we go. All right, there she go. She's locked down, and then we're gonna lock down the ground. All right, so that's all tightened down, and we got our two power wires that's gonna come and live in here. I like that the power wire is nice, or the ground is nice and short, so that's gonna be the liveroos. Let's go ahead, get this all put back together, and then all right, I am gonna have to do a little cutout in here for this, and I'm gonna mark out where I want to cut it. So, as we can see, if you guys can see there, I'm gonna cut that right out with the jigsaw real quick. We'll come back and see if we can get this installed in here. Okay, so this is what I cut out. It was there. I cut that out, and that's just enough for that wire. Hopefully I don't have to trim it anymore. That will fit through. So, all right. You cannot tell there's a wire running down this whole side as of right now. When we put the cover on, we'll double check, but man, I mean, that seemed to be the ticket. This comes through. A lot of guys don't want that to happen because they're worried about the seat, but I'm not. I think that that's just gonna go bloop. That's gonna go right into the amplifier, and this is gonna go right into the amplifier. So, alrighty, here we go. Look at that, huh? This should go in. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. But, so I move the torch out, get it out, and there we go. That's put in. There. All right, there we go. We put all of that. Okay. Go ahead. Tuck that in. Dude, that is, for all you guys who are doing that, doing the zero gauge, that is the ticket in the Tacoma. It looks nice. It's going to come out sweet. That's the ticket. Boom. We hit on something. So, Pow! You cannot tell now that there is a 1 gauge wire running straight back on this side here, and I am super proud of that. Anyway, let's go ahead, because I'm actually getting excited to wanting to hear this thing. It's been kind of taking me a little bit of time. So here, let's go ahead. We can get our front seat in now. There's nothing else that needs to be running here, not on this end. All right, there we go. I'm just gonna push this wire through here, okay, and we can kind of roll that back and roughly about how she's gonna be. So see, was planning, things do start to come out how you want it to be. We'll get back to that. Let's get this seat plugged in and moving on. Doug, like I said, yo, you cannot tell there is a 0 gauge wire that runs underneath in this truck until you get right here, or until you look underneath the hood, and that's dope. Before I go too far with that, I do need to grab the headrest, because it's easier to take the seat out with the headrest off. So let's go ahead and there we go. Pow. Headrest is in. So that's good. But now we can focus on going to the backside and start figuring out all of that stuff there. I'm so excited to get back there, because that means that pretty shortly we're going to be powering old girl up and getting some thumping going on. So we know the amplifier rack sits here like such. This is going to stay underneath, and that all lives like that. Now I am going to go grab the amplifier, because I want to see how we're going to do the distribution here for this. All right, I got to check that out really quick. I do have to add a fuse right here for the amplifier. The wire is already taken care of up front. Now we need one for the amplifier, because the amplifier has an external fuse. Alrighty, so here we have her. Here's the star of the show. Okay, I know it's gonna go here, but so you guys can see, well, I'll just drop that there for now. But here is also another fuse holder, another AL or A&L, and I need one for, I got it the wrong way, because that all needs to be over here. Here you go. All right, that works a lot better. All right, so now my problem is I don't have much room for this fuse block. Now, here's the deal. I don't really plan on running another amplifier in this truck, but I'm saying I don't plan on it. So right now, the way this rolls, if I don't use this, I can go bloop and bloop, and I'm good to go. I'm almost thinking on just using a fuse on the front side, and that will protect the wire and the amplifier. All right, so as you guys seen before, this is I told you guys that I had bought that 4 gauge kit a few times, and this is a mini A&L fuse holder. I have to see if I can get it to go all the way down to 0 gauge and this size, but let's see if we can make this work. I think it still might be a problem. Yeah, it's still kind of janky, if you ask me. So there we go, boom, boom, boom. Now, as of right now, that could go right into there. That could go right into there. And that looks, man, that looks really nice. I think we're gonna bypass putting the, unfortunately putting the fuse holder in there, so that it, wanted to have it just be an extra one laying around for another project at some point in time. But I don't have, I can't really do that. So, all right. So I'm happy. Before I do this all, I do have to figure out how I am going to fuse. I need this fuse here for the for this down at the other end, and I'm just gonna have it fused all the way over here, and it's gonna be one. And I think I'm just gonna come down and go that way and run this one right into here with that. Okay. All right, that's gonna work. You guys can't really quite see it, but that's gonna work. But I'm gonna mark where I want. All right, get this out of the way. Okay, so we're gonna punch holes there so that we can put this in. So all of this is gonna have to come out real quick, and we can get that figured out. This is gonna go into there, and I am going to solder on a smaller piece of wire here, and then on the ground side, I'm also gonna run a ground that's gonna just go into the same here, but this is gonna be the ground for that over there. So I'm happy by that. But I want this where I can pop this off, boom, put a 1 amp in there and be good to go. So let's do that. Also, I need to drill 5 holes so that I can get my speaker wires through. So let's go ahead and put that on a bench and see how we're going to do that side. That works. This all works where I can wire all of this up, okay, and then I can pull these 2 bolts to pull a case off to do any adjustments on this unit here. So let's get that out of here, bring this in there. All right, you gotta go. Sorry, Phillies.